Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for Saturday. It's the weekend. Time for freaking. Oh, what is it? May 18th, 2024. You think I would know that? I don't. I rarely know what day it is. I definitely don't know what the date is on any given day. So hit the like button if you can empathize with me. Hit the like button if you're already drinking. All right. I'm waiting for the golf to get fired up here about 10 o'clock, it looks like. Hopefully, no golfers have been arrested in the last 24 hours. Well, yeah, just over 24 hours. Anyway, Scotty Scheffler, if he comes back and wins this thing, if I were him, I would just give him the middle finger and walk off the course, man. Screw your trophy. You guys want to have me arrested for what? Doing what I was supposed to do? Anyways, we don't need to talk about that. So today we're talking about offense, the Buckeye offense. Where will Chip Kelly take this offense? What areas does the offense need to improve in year one under the chipper, the wood chipper, I'll call him, because he's going to slay defenses. Oh, good one, Joe. Thank you very much. But last year in 2023, we saw a tremendous fall off in production across the board. I'm going to run through a bunch of stat categories, throw a bunch of numbers at you. So brace yourselves. You may need to write these down, but I'll try and keep it as simple as possible. I'm not going to go into the deep analytics and wade into those waters. These are just normal numbers, yards per game, rushing yards per game, passing, completion percentage, red zone scores, things like that. Third down conversion percentage. So your basic shit, that you can look at on a stat sheet and tell typically, who won or lost just by looking at these categories. So, and it's on Chipper and Ryan Day to get this offense back in gear and somewhat what we saw in 2022 with the ball placement specialist, CJ Stroud, so it's Chipper's job to steer this thing in the right direction and get us back on track. Last year was not at all what any Buckeye fan expects, right? I mean, I think we can all agree there. I got hopped up on some coffee already, so I'm going to talk a little faster than normal. Anyway, definitely going to be goofy. I ain't even drinking yet. So let's talk about it. Let's look at last year's numbers. Let's start with points per game. Very basic. How many points a game did you score? All right. Second. Last year, we were 35th in the country. Terrible. 30.2 points per game. 30. In 2022, we were second in the country at 44.2. That's 2 touchdowns different. That's got to change drastically. And that's what pisses me off is it was such a waste of the best receiver in the country last year. Did not even use him hardly. I know he had a huge year, but he could have had an even bigger year, more touchdowns, and it just didn't happen. Honda, come on, Honda, you're better than that. Anyway, let's go red zone scoring percentage. So the number of percentage times you score when you get into the red zone. These can be touchdowns or field goals. We were 37th in the country last year, 87.5%. In 2022, third in the country, 95%. Do you hear that? 95%, man. Wow, what a difference a year makes and a quarterback makes. But I'm not putting this all on Honda McCord. I think issues with the O-line were clearly a problem. And then just injuries at running back, of course, seem to be different every week. We didn't know who we were giving the ball to back there. So, all right, let's look at yards per game. It's a pretty basic stat, right? We were 45th in the country, 401.8. Okay, so that's pretty good, over 400 yards. Now, in 2022, we were 9th in the country, 490 yards. 90 more yards per game. That's typically bears out into at least another touchdown drive. maybe 2. So again, huge drop off there in 2023. Let's go to touchdowns per game since we're talking about scoring. 3.4, that was 48th in the country. In 2022, we were second in the country again, 5.5. So there's your missing points and your touchdown drives. Let's go yards per play. In 2023, we were 28th with 6.1 yards per play. In 2022, we were first in the country, 7.2. 7.2. Compare that to 6.1. That's an extra yard per play. That's huge, man. That can be a first down or more even, But anyways, if you're down around the goal line, it's a touchdown. So anyway, let's talk third down conversion percentage. Last year, we were at 43%. That's 32nd in the country. In 2022, we were at 45%, 26 in the country. So could have been better. I still think that's better. I'd like to be over 50%. Number 1 in the country is 56%. That was Washington last year with a loaded offense, of course. Let's see what we got here. Let's go rushing yards per game. 140 yards rushing per game. That was 76 in the country. We should never be 76th at anything. Then in 2022, we were 27th with 192 yards per game rushing. And that's with, again, more injuries at the running back position. Remember we finished the season in 22 with Chip and Dallin starting against the Cheaters, So, and that was that Dallin's true freshman year, I believe. Anyway, let's talk specifically on the quarterback here. And completion percentage, 63.76. So 64%, that's 35th in the country. Not terrible. But when you think about C.J. Stroud and the ball placement specialist, he was 66.83. So that's the expectation, right? Right around that 66 and above, 65 and above is where an Ohio State quarterback should be. Passing yards, 261.6. That was 39th in the country last year. In 2022, with CJ, we were at 12th with 298. So again, a huge jump there, or a huge drop from 22 to 23. And then sack percentage, number of times you get sacked per game. Of course, last year it sucked. We were 51st in the country, 5.41% of the time. So on 5% of your offensive plays, you're taking a sack. You can't have that and expect to move the ball. I know that, supposedly Honda McCord had the twisted ankle, broken ankle, whatever it was, but under CJ Stroud, we were at 2.84, so about half as many sacks. That was 9th in the country. And then fourth down conversions. This is one where I would point right directly to Justin Fry, because when he came in here, you guys might remember this quote in his media availability, his first interview. He said, "We want to be able to run the ball when everybody in the stadium knows we're going to run the ball." So 3rd and short, 4th and short, right? So in 2023, we were at 53% of fourth down conversions. Those are typically, 4th and shorts, 4th and 1, 4th and 2, maybe 3 at the most, but usually it's within a yard or 2, that you're looking for. So we were 57th in the country, terrible. Back in 2022, we were 6th in the country at 70.59%. We converted those short ones. So a drop off from 2022 to 2023 drastically in the fourth down conversions. So that's one. I know I spent a lot of time on this show and many others defending Justin Fry and his recruiting complaints that we hear. But this one is directly about moving people off the ball, motivation, getting your guys to move the freaking line of scrimmage. That has fallen off from 22 to 23. So I know he lost some draft picks after the 22 season. We did not expect to lose Luke Whippler. Dewan, maybe not, but you knew Paris Johnson was gone. But still, you got to develop these O linemen, and you can't have a drop off of 20%, whatever it was, from one year to the next, and converting those fourth downs, because you said it, Justin Fry. You freaking said it. You want to convert those short yardage situations, and that starts right up front, moving the defensive line off the ball. You said it. So it's time to start paying dividends. And hopefully I believe Chip is going to be instrumental in moving this offensive line forward. Who gets the credit when things go well? Maybe we divvy it up between Chip and Justin Fry. I don't know. But I think we've seen Chip Kelly with mediocre O-line and running back play be able to run the ball when he was at UCLA. I can't name a single offensive lineman. I'm not even sure they've had one drafted in years. But regardless, they are still able to move the ball on the ground under Chip Kelly. So I think we're going to see a huge explosion on offense, not just whipping it down the field, but more well-rounded, 50-50 run to pass split. And you're going to see more production, more big plays out of the run game. So let me know what you guys think. You think Chipper's got it in him? You think Chipper and Justin Fry can get this run game going? We can maybe go 200 yards, maybe 250, like Herb used to like to run, but Ryan Day's more like 350, 200, I think, as far as your split goes. 350 pass, 200 rushing. That's a good Ryan Day number, I think. So let me know what you guys think. Hit me in the comments, call, text, email. Nobody writes me anymore. What are you guys doing? It's summertime. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I appreciate you. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.